stories is this. I think in life, success, happiness, those sorts of things really aren't determined or measured by how much money you make or what you've accomplished or achieved, you know, the things on your resume, the medals, the awards, the trophies. I really believe that success and happiness, true happiness in life, is measured by who you've helped, whose lives you've touched, relationships, family. Don't start crying now, you make me go. But really and truly, it's when you've helped to lift somebody's burden a little bit, to lighten their load, to bring a smile to their face, and to enrich their lives. That's success and happiness, and I think all of our angels today have really embodied that. So congratulations again. Let's give them another great round of applause. And now I'd like to introduce to you the co-director, co-medical director of the Mary Jo Cropper Center for Breast Care, Dr. Susan Weinberg, and she's going to give us a little update on the great things that are going on at the center. Thank you.
You know, before I really begin, we forgot to really acknowledge Mary McAllister, who's one of our angels from one of the preceding years, and so if she could please stand, we'd certainly like to acknowledge her as well. Got a wave of the hand over there. Well, they put me up here to make a few inspirational comments. Now, put yourself in my shoes. What can I possibly say that would be more inspirational than those videos that we've just seen? Congratulations to all of our angels. Instead, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to thank you. Thank you for taking time from your busy schedules to be with us. Thank you for supporting our center. And thank you for your generosity. Some of you have asked me to connect the dots. What is this whole angel thing and the Cropper Center thing? Well, let me just briefly share our story. I met Mary Jo Cropper about a decade ago. We were introduced, we talked, and we realized pretty quickly that we shared a dream, we shared a vision. And that vision was to create the most comprehensive breast care center that we possibly could to serve the greater Cincinnati area. We dreamed big. Well, fortunately for Bethesda, Mary Jo Cropper chose the Bethesda Breast Center to fulfill her mission, to fulfill her vision. So we became partners. We became friends. But she was no silent partner. She made it perfectly clear that any center that would carry her name and her family's name would be a center that provided the most compassionate, the most comprehensive, cutting-edge care possible to area patients. She made it clear that that center would have to become an integral part of the breast care community in Cincinnati. Well, let me tell you, Mary Jo didn't just talk the talk. She walked the walk. Compassion. I can remember, it was probably maybe 8 or 9 years ago, I was working at Arrow Springs. It was cold, it was January, February. And Mary Jo met me up there, she was going to have an exam done. She went into the room, it was cold. And they asked her to lay down on the table. Well, that table was colder than the rest of the room. But she didn't complain, because that wasn't her style. What she did was, she went out after that exam and anonymously purchased a blanket warmer and donated it to that department. Not for herself, but for the patients that would follow her. Because that's what she did. She did compassionately small things that made a difference in a person's life, that made a difference in a person's day. Just like Molly Hodap, just like Sue Towson. Comprehension. Probably about 7 or 8 years ago, Mary Jo and I started to have some conversations about comprehensive care and the importance of facilitating care from the time they were diagnosed through treatment and even survivorship. Well, those conversations are pretty fruitful because out of those conversations came our Nurse Navigator program. Out of that program, we facilitated patients' care all the way from diagnosis through survivorship, anticipating patients' needs or someone's needs and meeting those needs. Kind of like Rhea Davison, huh? Jamie Kuzik, Lisa Farrow, from their foundations. Community. Well, you know, after about 4 or 5 years of planning and meeting, Mary Jo and I, we took a look at what we accomplished and said, hey, we're doing a pretty darn good job for those patients who have insurance. You know, the commercial carriers and for the patients who have Medicare, we're doing a good job. But we're missing a really important segment of the population. We weren't doing such a great job at taking care of those patients who were on or underinsured. So we said we needed a mobile mammography program to serve the underserved. Well, we hounded that administration. And Steve Schwabe, I'm sure, was sick and tired of getting my phone calls. But we did get the funding. And I can remember the day I called Mary Jo to tell her that we secured the funding. She was elated. Because that's what Mary Jo was. She was all about community. She was all about paying it forward. Just like Leslie Biederman. Just like Connie Ward and her friends, the ladies at the TPC Rivers Bend Ladies Golf Association. Cutting edge care. You know, Mary Jo used to come and meet with us quarterly to keep us on track, to make sure that we were, in fact, you know, kind of really developing a good sound approach to breast care. And we discussed many times that fragmented care just doesn't work. That a good breast care program really was one that really developed a team approach to breast care. She got that, okay? She knew that we needed dedicated breast radiologists, pathologists, anesthesiologists, surgeons, medical radiation oncologists, ancillary personnel, survivorship programs. We needed that whole continuum of care to make it work, to provide optimal care for our patients. Mary Jo really, really got it. And now I think you get it. Mary Jo was our first angel. Compassion, comprehension, cutting edge care, community. That's our mission. That's Mary Jo's legacy. And our mission and our legacy live on in those angels that we celebrated here today. You know, through your generosity today, we have been able to raise $345,000. $345,000 for clinical research in the Cropper Center. I thank you. I know that Mary Jo would. And I'm sure the entire Cropper family joins me in thanking you for supporting a home where nearly 60,000 women receive breast care every year. At this point, I'd like to turn the podium back over to your hostess and hosts, Amy Settlemyer, Spence Cropper, Mary Jo, and Rob Cropper's children for a few closing remarks.